Today, we're ranking all of the Dragon Ball Z movies. I'm Nano, that's Doto, and this is Key Moments, where we talk about all things anime and a lot of it being Dragon Ball. And today, because we are doing a Z rewatch and we will be doing the movies, we've already done a movie special, which was Dead Zone. But before we get to the rest, thought it'd be a fun time to do what we did with the sagas, but applied to the movies, which was actually, shout out to one of you giving us this suggestion. We rank these now because I don't remember some of these that well, and we'll just be going off of memory, and then we come back and see how much it changes once we've done the rewatch and we see everything. So this is going to be super interesting. You can see my tier list there if you are a video watcher here on YouTube. If you're an audio listener, we will of course do our best to explain what all is going on here, and it'll still be fun as an audio podcast too. And by the way, Dada, we should probably mention that if you're on YouTube, you should like the video. You should also subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, Apple Music, all the other podcasts, leave us a rating. It does help us out a ton. And we should also note there's a Patreon where you can support us over there on Patreon, where we actually give a massive appreciation to you guys supporting us as much as you have over there. Lots of bonus content like our reactions to episodes, exclusive content that you can only see over there. Key Moments over on Patreon. Appreciate you guys supporting us. And for the key members, that's a shout out to you guys. Doto, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, dude. And speaking of audio, I love the audio listeners, dude. Definitely not holding up a visual gag. And by gag, I mean cat. Anyway, Nana, we're talking about some movies today. I know you're pretty excited, even though, again, this is like almost our blind prediction just off, how I felt back in the day watching these.
Yes.
Because if we've learned anything from this rewatch, Nano, is that my memories, I'm just speaking for myself, but they can't be trusted when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, okay? This show,
same.
It's different. It's different in real time, I'll be honest.
I do think the movies hold up better though than some of the overall the way we judge some of the arcs, just because they are such a, especially the older films, right? Before Battle of Gods, basically every movie is 40 minutes long top. So there's like, it moves real fast, but then there's Dead Zone, which I thought was gonna cook. And then listen, y'all, if y'all like Dead Zone, it's a fine movie. It has some things weighing it down.
A lot of things weighing it down. I was gonna say the perk of the movies is that most of the time you're guaranteed to get, every movie is basically the same before canon starts getting in here. Peaceful times, dangerous times, big bad guy, lose, win, game over, peaceful times.
Yes, it's every movie.
But to me, at least as a kid, it was how big is your big fight and how cool is your final win. Those are my two qualities that I was looking for as a kid. So I guess we'll see how that reflects and where I want to place these.
Otto, so you did something right before doing this podcast.
I was gonna say it kind of ties into being movies, but I just went to go see a film, and while I was sitting there, I was like, damn, I love the movie theater so much. Let me go ahead and sign up for this unlimited movies pass, bro. Pretty pricey. I did go ahead and get the year right away, but I'm excited. I might go see another movie right after this.
How much does that cost to do a year?
You got me. It was like $300. It was like $300, but listen, I justified it by it's like $20 to see a movie nowadays.
I would say. So can you bring? What was I was speaking gibberish there for a second. But can you bring someone with you, or is it just?
I believe it does say that sometimes you can bring a friend. I'm not sure what. I'm sure it's going to be like only on Tuesdays at 3:40 under direct moonlight.
Wait, so do you and Kinsey have one?
Absolutely not, Nano. I did not think of her at all when I was buying this as a purchase decision. I told her about it, but she doesn't. Honestly, Kinsey doesn't like movies anyway. She's more of a, Nano, if I could get a bit misogynistic here on the podcast, she pretty much is the stereotypical woman in cartoons where it's like, what's happening? Who's that? What's going on? I was like, watch the movie, bro. Watch the pictures on the screen.
I do be like that sometimes. It's not all the time. Sometimes I do be like that. I'm also that meme where
they're inquisitive souls for real.
Where you come into the film or you come into the episode of the TV halfway through and you're like, wait, so why is this happening? I'm really bad.
Inquisitive, bro. I honestly, I'm the kind of person that once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. I'll figure everything out at a different point in time, even to the point where when it comes to going to the bathroom, sure, at home, I'll pause it. But I was in the theater today watching that new Ghibli film, bro. when I say 30 minutes in, I had to piss. Damn, that was the roughest. That was the roughest holdout I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, I will sometimes like, I think I had to during Guardians 3. And like, I felt like it was a pretty downtime. And I was like, screw it, I'm running. Like I ran so fast. But we went to a theater too where we were out of town. We went to, actually was it, do you call them 4D? No, it wasn't 4D though, but there was like subs in our seat. It was maybe it was just the Dolby experience. Dude,
oh, like subs, sound, like, oh, okay, yeah.
The subs, yeah, sorry, you were thinking you went and watched okay, that's funny.
Yeah, I did just watch a Japanese movie.
I get it, yeah. But I meant like physically subwoofers, like the bass was like absurd. Like,
that is crazy.
It was insane, especially in Guardians. I just ran, dude, but I didn't know where I was going because it wasn't like my normal theater. So I ran out and I'm like scouting like real fast, and I'm like, oh, there it is. I'm like, God, dude. Anyway. But
yeah, I don't know, 40X experiences are a different ride, and built-in speakers go kind of crazy. But anyway, yeah, so last thing on Kenzie is just, if she wants to come, I'll just probably either get the free thing or get the I do get a discount anyway with that.
How many can you see a day?
Or is unlimited.
Unlimited.
It's literally unlimited.
That's insane, dude. Because tickets,
it's just do whatever.
The cheapest tickets really are like $10. So if you go see 30 movies, anything over 30 at that point.
Also, you know what? Before we get into the Dragon Ball movies, I do have one last story to say about this movie experience I went to, because it's almost. I just want to apologize to these people. I didn't have the gall to do it today. So I'm going in. It's like a matinee. I had a car thing. Went to go fix my car, and I was like, I'm not waiting here. I'm going to go see a movie. And when the ticket booth comes up, I'm like buying it there, and I only get one seat. It's like 410. It's all the way on the left of the theater. I'm like, fuck this. I'm literally the only guy in here. I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to the middle of 4 because I got a good row. It just wasn't a good like middle. I was like, I'm the only guy in here. Nobody's coming. Let me just be me.
No way did you sit in the only other people's seat.
Let's get to that, because I didn't only just do that, Nano. As I'm going across, I'm also a very clumsy guy. I have my medium popcorn. Boom. I drop half the bag of medium popcorn on my seat. I'm the one guy in this theater. Half the bag of popcorns in like this 4-6 seat.
No.
And I'm just like, okay, well, now I just have to sit here. And even if people come, I'm not going to make them sit in my fucking mess. So I'm just going to fucking sit here. Then eventually this couple walks in. And I'm like, oh, please, dear God, tell me they didn't get these seats. And they just stop and look at me for a second. I'm looking at them in my peripheral. I'm like, oh, God, dude, no. And then I just hear like, oh, I'm like, damn, dude. And then I just hear, let's just sit here. And I was like, oh. And then I hear the guys say like, this is what we get for being late. I was like, oh my God, dude. These poor people.
But if they would have approached you, would you explain to me like, hey, listen, I spent like all my popcorn. You guys really don't want to sit here. Like, would you have said that, or would you?
No, they saw the popcorn. That's why they were so pissed. That's why they gave up, because the popcorn was like a defensive bubble shield around their seat.
Oh,
they probably my thought process is they wanted to ask me to give them their seat, and then they saw the crazy fucking mess I had made, and I was just like, yes, it's over. My bad, guys.
Cleaning popcorn up is awful, by the way.
Yeah, I did try to do my best. There was none on the seats. I did try to do my best to clean it up. I just felt fucking horrible though. There was I don't know, that was bad. I felt bad. Luckily, yeah, there is no luckily. It was just a horrible experience. My bad.
For reference to audio listeners, just to literally anyone that's not familiar with me, I worked in the movie theater for over 5 years. So I would have been the person cleaning up Dotto's mess, at one point in time in my life.
But Nano, what if I said I was really, really sorry though? Like, certainly then you couldn't have been upset.
I mean, that's what most people would say. Like, oh, like, because we're getting that clean, especially if it's on a busy movie. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. And I'm like, I just leave so I can get this picked up, because we got 100 people waiting out to
damn, what are you seating fucking Avengers 3, dude?
Hey man, I did work Avengers. Okay, I worked Avengers 1, and also you know what movies were really crazy? Twilight, dude. Those Twilight movies, like, people were lining up, man. I got to know people because they would come back and watch them like 10 times. There was a girl that had seen them like 22. I mean, I saw them a lot too because we just hung out in them because they were just like a vibe. But like, I worked there. I just walked in. I didn't like go pay to.
Yeah,
see
you
that
sound
movie.
like you got a like the 16 like super life, bro. Working at a movie theater is like the dream job, I guess, other than when you're sweeping up popcorn.
It was a dream job minus when you think about prime time getting your hours in, which are Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. And as a high school kid, having your Friday, Saturdays, and Sunday nights are like, it's like, that sucks. They were pretty nice about like alternating those. So, like one day you'd work Saturday and then the next weekend you work Saturday night. So you kind of have your nights off like here and there. But like as a high school kid, not having Fridays and Saturdays like kind of sucked because that was when you got all your hours in, you know, like.
I get that. I mean, I kind of get that. I've only had one fast food job. But I would have liked to work in a movie theater. That would have been sick. Or like a game
fast food job. I don't remember.
Just KFC. I was just a little cook at KFC, even though it basically
was Burger King. It was KFC.
Just all the people that eat at KFC, which you still can. I'm not going to be one of those people that are like, don't do it. I've seen behind the scenes. But just know that at some locations in Florida, the cook, which is what I was doing, I was chefing it up. Basically, I was also doing everything, bro. Basically, there was the people that worked the cashier, and then the cook. Bro, I was cleaning, cooking. Damn, bro. I remember as soon as I got my first YouTube check, not my first. Actually, it might have been my first. I saw what it was compared to my minimum wage paycheck. That was like 2 weeks versus, my YouTube thing. And the YouTube was less, but it was less by like $10. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting out of here. There is no way, dude. I was like, this is unfair.
So do you still get KFC? Like, do you occasionally get KFC or no?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I mean, I like it. It's the only thing I can't do, Nano. I'll be completely honest. And this isn't it's the way it's made. I'm sure it's not made good, but the gravy at KFC, a lot of people will say, oh, I love KFC gravy. The thing is, though, when you're washing it with the fast water gun, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
With that hot water, it basically re-gravies the gravy. It liquefies it. And so when I'm cleaning those dishes and I'm seeing the disgusting dishes, all I smell is KFC gravy. And it is potent, man. That is the most potent. So for me, that smell is ruined. But I know for a lot of people, it's really good.
Gravy, if it's not homemade, if I'm being honest with you, I like homemade gravy. If I'm making gravy, I'm definitely not a KFC gravy stan. I can tell you that for sure. I do really want to try the new wraps though they got.
The wraps are really good. I think I've had one, and they took them away and brought them back. Hey, you kind of spin. I might get a KFC wrap tonight.
I've been craving that. I try to be so good, like I really do. I try to be so good and not. We try not to eat out, or if I eat out, I go somewhere I can eat like grilled chicken. But man, I've been like craving KFC lately. So it's funny you bring that up. I've been craving.
There you go.
Popeyes or something like that. Just like some really good fried chicken, like fast food fried chicken.
I agree. And honestly, fast food fried chicken does hit different. Also, I was just laughing because I like to imagine, obviously we do some talking in these podcasts, but I like to imagine whenever a new listener comes in and they're like, all right, let me skip to after the intro stuff. And then they just hear, I'm not really a big gravy guy. It's just like, what are they talking about?
Hey, Gravy is a character in the Dragon Ball universe in Heroes.
Is that real?
Yeah, Gravy is
Heroes.
a character in Heroes.
Bro, my fucking mother's probably a character in Dragon Ball Heroes, dude.
When I find people that really do like Heroes like that, I'm like, but why though? Like, dude, I just cannot vibe out with Heroes. Don't get me wrong, Heroes and Dokkan have been cool, like using those characters, but like in terms of anything past that, I just do not.
Bro, Heroes only exists to tease young me when I was searching up like Dragon Ball fan theories in my head, like teenage Gotenks, bro. I'm like, oh my god, it's in Heroes. Okay, great. I'm out. Dude,
we're so close to getting that, by the way. We're so close.
Neta, we were close. Neta, we were close. They're in diapers again. Canonically, right now, Goten and Trunks are in diapers.
Don't say that, man.
It's true, Neta. And right now, the most current Dragon Ball project, they are wearing diapers.
Hang on, though. Would you, if this next manga chapter goes into heavy Trunks and Goten and they properly fuse, would that be hype to you?
Okay, yeah. I'd give it up.
Are you a Gotenks fan? Like,
I'm not a Gotenks. Honestly, I'm not a Gotenks fan. I'm a Goten and Trunks fan, which I think that's a little weird, actually.
I will say that is actually a little strange. I mean, let me clarify. I think Gotenks is fine. I think of the fusions,
me too.
I would probably rank him even beneath Kefla for me. I really like Kefla.
Oh yeah, I agree. Awesome. I thought Kefla was. Now we're getting into a different topic, Nano. But let's go ahead and get a little Dragon Ball and Tsundere out here. Gotenks is the worst fusion. Kefla is better. Honestly, if we're being real talk, I might even put Kefla above Vegito, but that's a little, that's a little wild.
Wait, we're both Gogeta stands?
Yes.
I didn't
I
realize that. Wait, what?
I think I've always known that. Gogeta is just, honestly, I'm surprised everybody is not a Gogeta over Vegito kind of guy.
When I do find people that like Vegito over Gogeta, I'm like, but why?
It's literally an opinion that I just can't get. Like, I don't get it. Like, the design is literally so much lamer. That puffy jacket goes crazy.
Yeah.
Even if there was nothing else, like if they were the same character, the puffy jacket just goes kind of crazy.
Yeah, the Metamoran clothes look so cool to me. I was so happy when we found out Gogeta was in DBS Broly. And speaking of Dragon Ball movies, we've got the Dead Zone, Doto.
Oh, we're going right
in.
The
Dead Zone. And guess what? This tier list has a Z tier and then A, B, C, D, and F. Now, we're not going to do the Dragon Ball films. I've actually maybe never even seen some of these. And so we're just going to be doing the Z films through Superhero and the two TV specials that we're both familiar with. I've never actually sat and watched the Chilled film. I don't know if you've ever seen that one with Super Saiyan Bardock.
Yes, I have actually.
I've only watched them.
Oh, you're just going to be guessing on that one then.
Oh, are we doing that one? Oh, okay.
Oh, are we not?
We can do that one, sure.
Let's do it.
And then I've only seen the ending of the plan to eradicate the Super Saiyans, but I feel like I've seen,
what?
Yeah. Well,
not a Hachiak guy.
Those are TV specials, man. I've seen Trunks. I've seen Bardock. I've seen all 13 Z films and the 13 original Z films, the 2 bonus Z films, which are basically Super, but they're under the Z moniker, and then the 2 Super films. I've seen the important stuff. I just want to clarify that. I just haven't seen. I've not seen Chilled, the OG Dragon Ball films, and the plan to eradicate the Super Saiyans OVA.
Yeah, honestly, Hachiak's below even TV special. That's just, to me, that's just the Raging Blast 2 bonus. Like,
yes,
I do remember getting pretty hyped to watch it though. Anyway, we're starting with Dead Zone. Dead Zone's the first one. All right, what do you think, Nano? Go ahead.
I feel like this is like a real good C film to me.
What? Okay, that's pretty. I'll just say high in my opinion. That's pretty high.
Put it lower than that. You know what?
I think it's a very good D tier film.
D for Dead. Dude, so many people hate us right now, but you know what?
What? Why would they? Honestly, why though, Nano?
There are a lot of people that are Garlic Jr. stans, bro. I swear. By the way,
I think he is the coolest part of the film.
We didn't. We both said we didn't agree with that. We thought his side hustle.
Oh, that is true. Actually,
henchmen were way more fire than his fight.
That is true. The fight especially was way better with the henchman than Garlic Jr. No, you're right. I disagree with my former self. Garlic Jr. wasn't even the coolest villain in Dead Zone.
No, I truly enjoyed the henchman fight way more, and when they pulled out like swords and stuff out of their bodies, and like that was way cooler than anything Garlic Jr. did. But
yeah, I don't know, the Gohan on like after a few sips of alcohol scenes kind of took me out of it. Pissing on Krillin.
This is the one movie, by the way, that we are
very familiar with this. Yes,
watched. I have not watched another Z film since then. So yeah, I purposely am staying away from them now because we're doing the rewatch. But yeah, ultimately,
I would love to hear comments. I would love to hear people that are Dead Zone fans talk about it, because to me it was a little too slow. The finale was a little too boring.
Yeah,
I do like one detail I really did like is when Goku and Piccolo actually started fighting to the death. I did think that was actually cool and doesn't really happen that much. So I'll give it a little bonus points for that. But it was just pretty boring, man.
It starts out real good though. The first like 5 minutes are fire. It sets up to make you think this movie is going to go crazy, and then
the scenery was pretty crazy, yeah.
And then it just goes nowhere. And speaking of going
definitely
nowhere,
didn't deserve Dragon Ball Z the film.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, if you guys have not listened to the full breakdown of that podcast, you should definitely go check out the Dead Zone, our movie special. World's Strongest, Dato. I don't have this one in high regards from memory either, but I've not watched this movie in a really long time. And again, the whole purpose of this is to make a list based on our memories of the films. I don't have this one that high. Where do you have it? I remember really good choreography in this movie.
Oh yeah, this is the movie where Goku does like some sick like backflips and stuff.
Yes, this is that movie. Yes, it is. But dude, the villain alone of this movie does not heed well for this, in my opinion. It's freaking Wheelo.
Oh, dude. Dude, I didn't even know that was this film.
That's this movie, dude.
Okay, now I'm thinking, were we too harsh on Garlic Jr.? because is World's Strongest an F movie or is it a D movie?
No, I think it's D behind Dead Zone. Here's the thing. I think when we watch it, we might end up enjoying it more than Dead Zone.
That is true because the backflips were cool. I do remember like the Goku melee stuff going a little crazy.
Choreography in this movie, from what I remember.
But is that all we remember?
That's all I remember.
Because I don't remember literally. I don't remember anything about Wheelo. Like literally anything. To me, he's a
brain in the underground lab, and they fight at some point. He goes up in space and fires down at them. That's all I know.
Man, that movie's gotta suck.
I don't think. I mean, you know what? This is a good opportunity to see a shift in the tier list. Do you want to leave it at D below Dead Zone?
Yeah, I guess I'm fine with that.
We'll see if it gets redeemed. Like, let's see if they redeem. Like, I could see that. You know,
I could see it going to maybe low C. Yeah, would be my guess. Or it might shock us even get low B if the fight scenes are that cool.
Here's what I will say. I think the overall villain is holding it back for me personally, just because I just don't.
Yeah.
There's nothing that cool about that villain to me. But if the side henchmen, because I know he has to fight a bunch of side henchmen from this film. And the choreography it's not, there's no weird middle sequence of 10 minutes of Gohan tripping on acid.
Yeah,
I was going to just good fighting and maybe some fun dialogue. Then I could see me enjoying this way more than Dead Zone.
I actually think you have a point. Dead Zone is being held back. So I would say Dead Zone is the pinnacle of a D film because we had some cool action, but it was really spaced out between filler, nothing. And then the villain was like he was okay. But so it doesn't really matter if Wheelo's a bust, which I already think he is because I don't remember him. But if the henchman fight is really good and it's just most of the movie, this could be an easy C tier upgrade at least. Yeah. So I follow your logic there. I think you're right. So you might be the most base Dragon Ball fan.
That brings us to the original Goku Black Tree of Might.
Now, Nano, we're finally talking, dude.
Now, I'm so excited to rewatch this movie.
Me too. I love Turles. I love the Tree of Might. Not like crazy. Let me not hype it up too much, but compared to these...
I have it where I'm hoping that we end up placing it. Because again, another thing too, we try to be collective on this, but I right now I've got it where I'm hoping that you agree with me on it.
Let me just blind fire my guess then, because honestly, I could be moved. I think I could be moved up. I don't know if I could be moved down, but I'd have to see some things.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking the Tree of Might, just from what I remember, the vibe, the tension, the fruit, the fights, the Goku getting his ass beat. I would put this easy B off recollection.
I've got it.
All right, I agree. I think this is a great B film. Now again, that's from memory. We'll see what happens. Maybe it goes down, or I think it might even go up.
I think it could go up. I think it go up. I think they were in their bag for this one specifically.
They were.
I think timeline wise, World's Strongest and Tree of Might happen pretty identical to each other, right? Like I'm pretty sure. So World's Strongest is end of Saiyan Saga, and Tree of Might is basically end of Saiyan Saga as well, because Slug, I guess at some point Goku in the middle of like probably fighting like Ginyu goes, hang on, we've got a threat over here, we got to go over here, we got to fight this, because I think Slug is like, clearly before Super Saiyan, this is how we got false Super Saiyan. So I think Tree of Might is like everything they learned, from animating Saiyan Saga and stuff, and I think Tree of Might will end up being a really, really good time. I
think so too. I think it's the first film where like Garlic Jr., whatever, dude. Dr. Wheelo, I don't even know who that is. But Turles, now that's like the first movie villain that like, you'd hear people talk about.
It's just Goku, but like it's so cool. Man.
But with a scouter though, that's crazy. He's wearing a scouter and it's red. That's nuts.
There is something about taking the aesthetic of our main character and just making it bad that is so exciting. Like Goku Black, like he's so cool.
It really is like a evil Goku. Is just a cool design. Honestly, it works for most series.
Yes, yeah.
But especially Evil Goku hits different.
So there's not much else to say there. I don't think Tree Might goes down. I think if anything, when we come back to this, Tree Might goes up.
I agree. That's what I would honestly bet $10 on it. It's going to A after we rewatch.
Dude, I just can't fathom it goes down from B. Now, my memory of Lord Slug is not great, Doto.
I have no memory of Lord Slug other than False Super Saiyan.
Yeah, which I think part of that is fueled by the fact that I've went and watched the False Super Saiyan scene on YouTube. But like from watching Slug in entirety, that we're talking like probably closing in on 20 years since I've actually taken the time to watch this movie. I watched it with friends growing up. It's literally been like 2 decades since I've seen this film, but it doesn't. My memory of this movie does not sit well. I don't remember liking this movie much.
I don't remember this movie at all. But I don't know. What are you thinking for this one? I have a strong feeling just off the one thing I know of where I put it, but I mean, if you don't remember even liking it, that's a little crazy. I'm gonna go off of you on this one, honestly.
Oh, I was gonna put it the lowest of D.
Whoa!
So you think C?
I was thinking C just because of False Super Saiyan, but I actually want to trust you though. Really?
No. I'm cool with going to C.
Wow.
Because I could be very wrong, and so what's been interesting about doing this whole YouTube thing and the Dragon Ball sphere for like coming up on 8 years now is that False Super Saiyan actually gets brought up a lot. So I have to believe that everyone that brings up wanting False Super Saiyan in all these games, like so many, do any of the games even have False Super Saiyan? I think maybe one game does. One of the classic games, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
To my knowledge, False Super Saiyan is literally just they knew something was happening, but they didn't quite know what the aesthetic was or what they were doing when they made Lord Slug. So that's why we have False Super Saiyan. So it's not even something I think that like the actual makers of Dragon Ball want to even acknowledge. So I don't know that we'll ever technically see it. And I thought that, but then I'm pretty sure the Dragon Ball card game actually made False Super Saiyan a card, which is very interesting, like a more modern era card. But because of all the stands that bring this up so much on so many of my videos, I'm going to go with you and believe that this has to be a C base, like a C level film. That is what I'm trying to, a very long way to say that, but that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even say I'm a False Super Saiyan stan, but the moment definitely sticks out of my head. Like, I mean, at least for like AMVs, dude, it was a pretty big moment for AMV fans. Catching the hand, False Super, there was, I mean, I hope that's what I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I honestly, I'm more excited to watch it now just because you seem so ready to put it bottom of D just off recollection.
Oh, dude,
that that was me. I believe that it's gonna be ass. Wow. Oh, I'm excited to watch this. This is gonna be ass. There is no way it's not gonna be ass.
I hope we are blown away by that. I hope we actually are blown away by World's Strongest, the Triamite, and Lord Slug. I hope all of them are just like, what?
That's. I hope the first two happen, but I actually fully believe now that Lord Slug is gonna be turbo ass. I don't know why I believe it because I don't remember anything.
I mean, yeah, the only thing I remember is that even from a child's perspective, I did not like this movie, which I think
that is rough.
I think that screams volumes because like I've my entire life been a Dragon Ball hype fan, bro. I just be hyping shit up for literally no reason. So like,
well, yeah, that's why I'm saying that this is gonna suck.
Now that brings us to the fifth film, Cooler's Revenge, DotoDoya.
Oh, this one,
which is one of my personal favorites.
This one's really good,
and I have a more recent memory of this film because I watched it. Because if there are any Dokkan players around, the entire worldwide celebration of 2022 was centered around Cooler, and so I rewatched Cooler's Revenge from beginning to end. So this one has a more recent memory for me, and it held up like crazy. This movie is sick as hell, dude. It starts fast, and it just continues all the way through. I loved it, dude. Loved it.
Yeah, this one, obviously, very strong memories. Great villain. Great design, honestly. Crazy design. Cooler needs to be made canon.
I agree
just off design and stance. So,
can I make a bold claim? Maybe
go
not
ahead.
That bold, but I just want to see how you feel on this. Cooler has a better design than Frieza.
That's not even that bold to me, bro. I fully agree.
Oh, let's go.
I fully agree.
Dude, the Frieza stand. Here's the thing. I like Frieza. Frieza just fine, but Cooler is just like the freaking mask. mask coming up, and like, oh, dude, he's so damn cool.
Honestly, like if we're talking Frieza designs, like I wish if Cooler wasn't a thing, I wish like Frieza in his final form just looked like Cooler now. But I do like Frieza's, like my favorite Frieza form is probably Baby Frieza, like the first form. I think it's like villainous in a different way. I like that he transforms, but
I like
final form Frieza is just second form is
the big one with the horns.
Oh yeah.
Which I think if I were the person that was designing these forms, I would have went third form would have been second form, and second form would have been third form. I hate the third form is so lame to me.
The third form is actually my brother's favorite form of Frieza.
Oh my
the
bad.
big alien head.
Yeah,
I think that's what I think of it of. It's just very distinct. But I do agree with you. I do like the King Cold like aesthetic.
Yeah. He looks more like his dad when he's
honestly
in second form, which I think is cool.
Honestly, Nano, I like most of Frieza's family's design about. Hey, this is about Cooler's revenge. Where do you want to put this, Nana? I'm good going as high as you want. I agree with you,
but just to quickly piggyback off that, I agree. King Cold's design is fire.
He's cool. He's cool.
He is really
I wish
cool.
King Cold had more to do with the overall series, but I don't mind the way he went out.
But
damn.
But anyway, I want to put Cooler's Revenge at A.
Okay. You know, that was very. I applaud you for being level-headed about this.
I listen. I'm trying to maintain Z as like that should only have the cream of the crop up there, bro. And I love Cooler's Revenge, but I just don't think. I think Cooler's Revenge may stay at the highest A for me. Maybe.
I agree. Honestly, I think Cooler's Revenge might be the overall sturdiest film.
Yeah, dude. It's so good. Which brings us to another really good one, in my opinion. The Return of Cooler, Dotto.
Was Return of Cooler actually the movie right after Cooler?
It was, yes.
Oh, wow. That's a little lazy.
Is movie 5, Return of Cooler is movie 6, and then Super Android 13 is movie 7. So,
wow, that's a little lazy, but they knew they struck gold. They knew they had gold with Cooler.
They did. So, and a fun fact about the Return of Cooler is this is one that I've actually seen a lot. Because,
no way.
Because when I was growing up, if I wanted to watch Dragon Ball on demand, because again, for those of you that are maybe younger and have Dragon Ball on demand at all times, that was not something that I had, right? So just literally, if I wanted to watch it, I watched Return of Cooler. So I've seen this movie a lot. It was the only access I had as a child to watch Dragon Ball when I wanted to.
Little known fact,
PS2, which was
little known fact. I agree.
Which was awesome when I finally got it on DVD and not just having it on VHS. That was a pretty sick upgrade. I had a PS2 that didn't want to play DVDs. It only played like a handful of DVDs, and just so happens Return of Cooler was one of the DVDs it would play.
It accepted that. It was a Dragon Ball Z meathead PS2. But yes, I also own this movie and only this Dragon Ball Z movie on VHS. So if I wanted to watch anything, not even just Dragon Ball, it was either Tarzan, flushed away, like not flushed away. What was the other mouse? Some mouse thing, some Brave Toaster
Stuart
thing,
Little?
Or no, not. I did actually. No, you're right. I did own Stuart Little too. Not Stuart Little 2, but Stuart Little as well. And Metal Cooler. So I watched a lot of Metal Cooler.
I have this currently behind Cooler's Revenge.
I agree. Although I will say I would actually put the gap between Cooler's Revenge and Metal Cooler at pretty high. It's not as good as Cooler's Revenge. It's not as strong. You are repeating something similar, and just off the fact that there are multiple Metal Coolers makes him a little less cool to me.
Oh, I think that makes him even cooler. But
oh, okay. I mean, I do like the big Getty Starhead.
I will say, like, I don't. I think the final act of this film could have been just a little bit stronger. Like when they, Don't get me wrong, I love that moment, and I especially love the dub. I liked the dub. I thought the dub went crazy. Like Sean,
all I know is the dub,
and then they actually used the GT soundtrack in this film, which I think like matches so well. I love how it goes. I love all of that, like all the build up to it. But I do think that I would have preferred a little bit more action in that final boss fight, but it is what it is. I still really enjoy this film, but I'm with you. I definitely think there will be movies between Cooler's Revenge and Return of Cooler here in A as we go forward. But yeah. So that brings us to Super Android 13. We've got back to back, like heavy focus on just Super Saiyan, right? They finally got access to Super Saiyan and they said,
I mean, Super Saiyan was a godsend for the movies. It's actually just an OP thing to do. Like for the finale, just go Super Saiyan, scream, fight. Damn, you got a banger on your hands. It's like, all right.
Yep. So Super Android 13 for me personally is not one that I've watched recently at all. And one I've not seen that much either. So I won't lie. Some of my memory of this is literally through the games. And I'm not are you, hang on, this is something people have asked and we can talk about it just briefly here.
Oh, no, I know exactly where you're going to go with this. Go ahead.
Are you a Team 4-star person?
That is funny because I am not a super big Team 4-star guy.
Wait, me neither. I've not watched hardly any of Team. I didn't get the memes. So people would leave memes and I wouldn't get it.
No, Team 4-star is the king of like, oh, I love that reference at timestamp. And then I'm like, haha, I don't know what I referenced. Yeah. But Team 4-star is more something that I respect. The thing is, though, and I'm not sure what age you were when Team 4-star was going crazy, but for me, I was still 20. In school.
I was like,
20. Yeah, so you were beyond that. But Nato, so I'm not gonna lie, this is probably not the best thing to say about myself, but in my school, I was known as the Dragon Ball Z guy.
Okay.
Because I talked about it a lot, and my friends knew I liked it. So everybody would come up to me with Team 4-star. And I love Team 4-star now. I love what they represent. I love how much work they did. And they did huge things for Dragon Ball Z.
They did. Yeah, they were
like
there
unironically huge.
Like, yes, 100%.
And I follow a few of the guys on Twitter. They're all cool. They're all, funny, great guys, big Dragon Ball heads, same as me. But kids at my school would come up and go, "Hey, you're gonna love this, man. This Dragon Ball video is going super viral, got a lot of views." And they'd show me Team 4-star, and I'd give it a try, but I was like, I don't know why you guys enjoy this. I'm more of you guys need to learn the beauty of real Dragon Ball Z. So I would just get tight because everybody would be like, Team 4-star is amazing. And I was like, you guys aren't even giving real Dragon Ball Z a chance, guys.
I mean, there are definitely people now in the fandom, and it's great that they're part of the fandom, but like they view the Team 4-star stuff as more like
they like it better.
That's their headcanon, yeah, versus the actual like original material. But yeah, I know some of the more popular things, like especially if it's like a lot of the Team 4-star stuff is clippable, but like I am the hype from Vegeta, like obviously I knew that, and I know some of the other like random things that just get clipped and sent out to hell, but like I've never watched one of their movie specials. I would love to do that at some point, I guess, maybe, but I just want to say that because this one gets to still to this day gets suggested to me constantly, the Android 13 one.
And honestly, Nato, that's my latest knowledge of this movie, because I did make it a point to, again, I say I haven't really seen much of Team 4-star. I've probably seen a lot more than you, because just from my friends showing me episodes and clips. So I'm pretty sure I've almost seen every episode of Team 4-star, though not like very intently watching. And the movie specials I did take because I when they were doing their cell stuff, I definitely made sure to go watch because I knew how big of a moment it was for them and like how much work they put into it. But for the movie special, I checked it out. So that is actually probably my most recent memory with this film.
Well, I mean, you would know then the overall arch, like
overall, yeah, kind of. But honestly, I mostly remember the end. They just have I think this is the one that ends with Vegeta and Piccolo with a fish jumping. At least that's how they ended their video, I believe. So that's it. That's all I got on this movie. Although I'm pretty sure you don't remember that.
No.
Again, that might be, maybe they played that up more for their video than actually in the movie.
Dude, I mean, but for me, like viewing this film, this is another one I'm not seeing in like 20 years, man. So like, yeah.
Hey, I don't need to see it to know that I know exactly where this movie is going to be for me, even after we rewatch all of them.
All right, well, tell me where.
This is a solid B movie. There is no way that it's any higher or lower than that.
Beneath Tree of Might?
I'd probably guess it would be below Tree of Might, yeah.
I am genuinely thinking I will like Tree of Might more than Super Android 13, even though I know Android 13 has Vegeta and has a pretty cool Vegeta moment, but yeah.
I'll be interested to see what you say after it, because I do know that this is like again, now we're starting to get into movies where Vegeta becomes more of a focus. Not that he ever gets too much focus, but he'll get some cool moments in here. So
yeah,
again, for me, that won't change much. We'll see how you're feeling.
Well, besides this next one that we're coming to, which Vegeta is maybe one of the biggest bitch moments for Vegeta in the entirety of the series.
Oh,
which is Broly.
Oh,
the way Vegeta acts in this film definitely bothered the shit out of me, because he's just like, he's the legendary Super Saiyan. We can't do anything against him. You guys are fools. Why are you even trying? And it's like, bro, why? And then he hypes himself up and he's like, I am the prince. You will bow down to me, Broly. And then gets freaking like washed, dude.
I do actually agree. Like, Vegeta was kind of on bitch time in this movie. Like, it doesn't the realization Vegeta makes when he starts to fight. Like, I feel like Vegeta would have made that realization, in like 30 seconds. I don't think it would have been a whole arc for him. Like, if they would have done it up like more like how Beerus was, or maybe not as much respect as Beerus, like where he was like the legendary Super Saiyan. Oh my God. No, wait, no, I'm him. No, fuck that, bro. I'm the legendary Super Saiyan. Something like that. But yeah, he was kind of on bitch timing.
So now with all that said, Dono,
I mean, it's still Broly, Nano.
I am a very big fan of this movie. So with all of that said, this is what I typically go to as my quote unquote favorite Z film. But
wow,
yeah, I love this movie. I don't even care. I'm a huge Z Broly fan. Like I'm sorry. Like I know that he's just like, he is the embodiment of a character for like the meatheads, as you like to say a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't even care. I don't give two shits, because
DBZ meatheads love this guy.
So I would personally, I'm going to put him where I would want to put him, and that is between the cooler films.
Listen, that's very fair, honestly, of you. I thought you were going to say Z, and honestly, I don't know if I would have fought you on it. I'm totally fine with doing that. I love Broly. This, again, it's hard to understand. Don't get me wrong. They knew they hit gold with Broly, as we'll see throughout the rest of the films. But Broly as a character is just a character that I think was very smart to bring back into the Dragon Ball fold. At least Americans. I think everybody loves Broly, but Americans turbo love Broly.
Yes.
I honestly, this is something that I think I just made up, honestly, but in my head, I have always seen Bardock as the Japanese Dragon Ball character. And Broly is like America's character. And then I would say Goku's like, maybe like Mexico's character. Like, I don't know where Goku I would put him, but like Broly has always been the American character. Every kid on the playground at the school I went to loved Broly. Every kid in middle school was like, oh, that's the series with Broly. People love Broly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just super biased from how I've lived, but you would think Broly was the main goddamn character of Dragon Ball Z, honestly.
I mean, listen, they brought him back in 2018 for a reason, and it's because of how popular he was.
Yeah, so, that is so crazy to think about, because I'm sitting here honestly in shock again, because dude, I swear to you, in school, like people loved Broly. It was Goku, and then but my favorite character was Broly.
That was me. Then besides Vegeta, like
it is crazy, dude, how much people love Broly, and that they just brought him back. Dude, this character's nuts. This character has legacy.
I mean, yeah, no, dude, it's just because of his cool ass design. That's really all it is. He's like one of the coolest looking characters in the series. Like my personal favorite design with Broly is when he's went Super Saiyan, but he's still not totally like roided out just yet. Like I think he looks so cool like that. Like OG Z Broly, I think that is like one of the coolest aesthetics in all of Dragon. I love that shit.
I like it too. It's very different.
So like dude, and then like growing up, like the fact that it was the legendary Super Saiyan and he had like that different tint to his to the color of his hair, like I ate that shit up, dude.
I was gonna say, I think most people did. There's something crazy about, again, we talked about it in the movie, Super Saiyan is very buff for the films, and then you come out and you say that this guy is the Super Saiyan, and then fans are just like, okay, I guess he's him. He's just different.
You know what? Now I'm thinking about this, is such a crazy movie to get to, because you're like the villain is a Saiyan, and he's a massive Saiyan who has like this legendary unlocked potential that no one else has. Like all these other people are like the knockoff Super Saiyans. He is the Super Saiyan. That's just
Everybody else is a poor imitation of Broly's power.
The other thing too we've not mentioned yet, which is big for me personally. I don't know about for you, but for me it's a huge influence as to why I like these movies. But Cooler's Revenge and Broly using basically AMV music was also a big one for me. I saw people making fun of that on Twitter the other day, and I didn't chime in, but I was like, y'all are also wrong, bro. Like that music was so hard. Like, honestly,
you know that picture that people use as the meme is like, yes, all of you are wrong. It's the one guy talking to like 10,000 people. I genuinely do think it's a Twitter take. I think if you talk to most people that know Dragon Ball, and by Twitter take, that sounds a little offensive, but it's like more of a purist take. But when you talk to like American fans of Dragon Ball Z, that is why they loved it, Nano. The soundtrack, the rocket, like it is just
crazy.
It's just time to beat ass.
Yes,
and that's all the soundtrack's trying to say. I loved it. I would say most people loved it. It is crazy.
Damn, is this a Z movie? Hang on, no, I'm kidding.
I wouldn't necessarily mind it. It clearly has lasting legacy. So even on that alone, I would be like, okay, I think it earns it.
I love this poster for it here too, by the way. The poster for that Broly movie looks, I kind of want that actually.
Honestly, I need to get myself a movie room and get all of these as posters.
That would be really cool. Dude, hang on, while we're on this Broly movie, it has one of my favorite Kamehamehas. When he does that Kamehameha point blank to Broly, not only is Sean's acting, like that is one of his best sounding Kamehamehas in my opinion. The animation in this movie is really good. Like that particular frame of Goku doing that Kamehameha is so pretty. And then Trunks also looks sick as hell in this film. When he goes Super Saiyan and like busts off like his his over jacket, and like his Super Saiyan transformation in this movie is so damn cool. Like, God,
this was a cool ass movie. This was a cool ass movie. This one was for the meatheads. This is a meathead film.
Because they start fighting like 20 minutes in and they don't stop until that final blow.
This is a meathead film, and I think it is beautiful for that reason.
So that brings us to BoJack Unbound. This is for the Gohan fans out there. Again, this movie, when you really start thinking about it, probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense where it falls in line. We haven't talked about it much, but that shit used to always piss me off as a kid. With all of these movies, it would piss me off. Yeah, like technically, Broly happens in the middle of them training before the Cell games, right? Like I think that's where the technicality of it all is, since Gohan can go Super Saiyan and shit, but he can't go 2 yet. Like they definitely just abandoned all of that so they could go fight this legendary Super Saiyan, which they should have just partnered up with, and he should have came back and just like killed Cell. But anyway,
yeah, probably would have been the smart decision.
That would have been, dude. Now we're getting hella fan shit. But BoJack Unbound. This is Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and BoJack, who I actually do kind of like as a villain. I don't really know where to put this though. Like I don't know where I want to put this. We never did confirm. Does this start with the World Tournament like you thought it did?
BoJack Unbound?
Yeah, we had that whole talk about it, and you were saying you thought it started with the World Tournament, but I couldn't remember. And this is another one I've not actually seen in a long time.
I don't remember. Hold on. Is this the one that starts with the World Tournament?
That's what you said. I was like, well, I don't know, man. Like, bro's talking about. I
think it starts with a tournament, but
you said
I don't know.
You said something about Trunks fighting in a tournament at the very beginning, but I genuinely do not remember that. So.
Oh yeah. I really like this film's beginning. I think hopefully it's this one, but this is actually a film that I watched in an anime club. Not that it wasn't much of a club. I just went there and watched this film on the computer after hours. But if this is the movie I'm thinking of, which hopefully it is, it's kind of embarrassing. I don't really want to look it up for too much spoilers. But Tien and Trunks have like a tournament match on a cool setting. They're like above an ocean. And that alone was pretty cool. I like that. The opening to that film was crazy. Hopefully that is BoJack. But even if it's not, I think just I do have strong memories of the Super Saiyan 2 and Gohan just basically going crazy. I also really like Goku's like ghost catching him and like carrying him down. And if we're just talking English dub, the "I'm my father's son" line goes crazy.
It does.
It goes crazy. So for me, just off that, I would say top of B or bottom A. That's where I'm leaning.
Okay. I want to say top of B then.
Okay, I respect that. I respect
that. Could be moved before this is all said and done, but I want to say top of B. That's where I
like that. It evens it out. It makes it look pretty good, and this is a film that I could see going up. I don't think it would go down. It's definitely...
This is not going down. No way.
BoJack is not going down after a rewatch. It might go up, though.
I am too much of a Gohan stan to let this movie go any farther than B. I'm just going to keep it 100% with you.
I'm just going to keep it a stack. This is not going anywhere else.
That does bring us to Second Coming Broly, though, which... Not as strong of an outing, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people that really do like this movie, especially Gohan stans, and I am a Gohan stan, but not that crazy.
I like the dramatic finish in Fighters more than the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie just this is not one that I've watched a ton. I've seen this more recently. Not recent within the last few years, but recent within the last at least decade. It's just okay. Like, I think my initial where I want to put it, I'll just throw this out there, is bottom of B.
I agree. I'm just going to fully agree with you on that because
it's just not, I don't remember. It's just not as strong. It's just not as strong as the original film. The Family Come At Me Hot is cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's a cool thing for the games.
It is a cool thing for the games, for sure.
It's a cool thing for the games. Dramatic finish was sick, but as an overall movie, that's all I remember. I agree with bottom of B.
Now, I don't really know there's much else we need to talk about with Second Coming, but we have arrived to a very polarizing film, mostly regarded as the worst Dragon Ball film of all time.
There's no way.
Totally agree with that. But Bio Broly.
They did Bio Broly right after this?
They did.
Second Coming? Second these guys were late. Sometimes these guys just got really fucking lazy on us, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, dude, it went Broly, BoJack, Broly. Like that's literally that was the order they went in here. So I actually think Bio Broly has some redeeming factors to it. I just want to be on record saying I don't necessarily love this movie, but I don't know that it deserves quite as much hate as I see it get. So I don't necessarily want to throw, like, I'm not an immediate throw Bio Broly an F person. I don't know if that's where you were headed.
No, because I don't really remember it that much.
I could see you liking this movie because it has, if you say you like Goten and you like Trunks, it also has Krillin pretty heavy in it too, which is like...
I feel like I do remember that, yeah.
I could see this, I don't know where we want to put it right now, but I could see after the rewatch this being at minimum C.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my best hopes for Broly. I do think it loses points just for being Broly a third time, and he also loses. Yeah, and also he loses the iconic design.
I can't believe they did that in this film. That bugs the hell out of me.
Honestly, I don't even know why they would call it Broly. Like, you could have just made it anything else.
Well, Broly is for the clicks, man. It's for the watch, right? Like,
that's what I'm saying. But they click and then they get pissed, bro. That's not Broly. That's some swamp thing. It's
Broly for a second. It's because he is Broly. Yeah. It's a Broly. I can't remember. This is going to show how long it's been since I've seen it. I can't remember if it's a clone of him in the tube or if it's actually him recovered from post Second Coming, but it is him for a little bit, and then he gets covered in that shit, and that's what makes him look like that. So it's like he's there, and then they ruin it. It's really, really, really upsetting. But
yeah, I don't remember.
With all that said, and what I remember of the film, I don't necessarily want to throw it in F, but I am comfortable in putting it the lowest of D.
Okay, I agree. Honestly, like, there is some meathead factor here that I do have to be honest with. Like, after we rewatch all of these, I would not be surprised if, even at a minimum, even if it's ass and the design's whack, like, I could see Bio Broly clearing Dead Zone and the World's Strongest for me, just off the fact that we're going to have more beams and Super Saiyans. And I'm going to be honest about that now. Like, even at its worst, it will still have Super Saiyans and beams, and that's about it. I don't even remember what Goku does in this film, if he even does anything.
Yeah, I don't know why he's on the.
I was gonna say, why is Goku featured on the artwork?
The main people in this movie in terms of fighting are Android 18, Krillin, Goten, and Trunks. If I remember right.
Brother, this is gonna be an ass film. I can't wait to see it.
Hang on though, are you? Unless the game is clickbaiting me, and it's now morphed my memory of this, but I'm pretty sure Krillin, Goten, and Trunks do a Kamehameha together, like as a
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like you're gonna love that shit. But
and that's what I'm saying. I just Beams, Krillin, Goten, and Trunks. That shit might clear Dead Zone and World's Strongest for me, and maybe even Lord Slug. I mean,
I'll go on a ledge and say I think I will enjoy Bio Broly more than Lord Slug when everything is said and done. I do want to just say that.
I forgot. Our only C is something that will probably be an F. I can't wait to see Lord Slug now.
Yeah, no, I'm actually pretty stoked that we're gonna watch that one too. All right, so that brings us to Fusion Reborn, which is one of the most iconic movies in this whole lineup. I would say I think Cooler is very popular, but Broly obviously takes the cake. Like Broly is like the thing, like the character from any of the movies that had like that level of popularity. And if there's anyone that's even close to him, it is Gogeta, clearly.
Absolutely. Like Gogeta doesn't feel like a movie only character, especially in fans' minds back then. And this was, I mean, damn, this is a character right here. Kind of carries the film, but the villain's also good. Janemba.
I love Janemba. I do. Actually.
I do too. He doesn't say anything.
He has such a cool ass design, but he doesn't need to. His design is so cool.
Yeah, and I just like even if we're just talking about like lore, I like that he is basically just the evilest evil. Like he is just evil given a body, basically.
Yes,
which I think is sick and could be redone canonically.
Something we're not talking about, but a lot of these movies now that were actually pretty much all the movies are actually really pretty. Like
yes,
like Fusion Reborn is incredibly like a very pretty film. Like it just is. And so I don't know. Like you just said, my recollection of the first like probably 35 minutes of this movie aren't very good.
Fusion Reborn came out before Wrath of the Dragon?
Yes. Yeah. Wrath of the Dragon is the final of the Z films before we got Battle of Gods.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
And Fusion Reborn also has Super Saiyan 3 in it though. I guess I always thought of Wrath of the Dragon as like the big Super Saiyan 3 film, but I guess Fusion Reborn got a little bit of it too. Yeah, the reason I thought of that is because speaking of pretty, like Super Saiyan 3 looks great in Fusion Reborn.
Yes.
Honestly, and this might be a hot take, but if we're talking like Super Saiyan 3 is kind of carried by the movies. Like the movies make Super Saiyan 3 look amazing.
Most of the GIFs, whatever you want to call it, when you see people using them for Super Saiyan 3 are unironically from either the game startup, like there's one that people use a lot from a game intro cinematic, or literally from the movies. Straight up from the movies. The one from Fusion Reborn and the one from Wrath of the Dragon. Because you are correct, it makes it look... I mean, he gets as much screen time in those as he does in the actual series down there, right? Like, besides the Kid Buu, but...
it's just the extra attention to detail goes a long way on making that design look good. But damn, yeah, I guess your point being the movies look pretty. Yeah, these are good looking films, animation wise. Especially Janemba uses like the cool teleport. This is like a very visually good movie.
I'm so excited to get to rewatch this one. But where do you want to put this one? Is my question.
So actually. What you said? Which film was your most recently rewatched?
Well, technically,
technically, like one of the super films.
Yeah, it would technically be one of the super movies.
You rewatch Broly a lot, huh? I basically the reason I brought that up is I basically bought Fusion Reborn. I rented it online, like what must be a couple months ago. So I actually. I'm very familiar with Fusion Reborn. I pretty much know everything that happens in this movie.
I've not seen this in a long time. I've not seen this in its entirety in a long time. So where are we putting it, Dotto?
I got to decide how much of a meathead I want to be here. But it's definitely
the first 30 minutes as boring as I remember they are.
Yeah. Compared to what you get to, yes. But once you get to hell and they start like Yeah, but the first 25 minutes are pretty rough.
Okay.
I would still put it in A just because after that it gets really good.
that's what I figured. But are you thinking bottom of A or above Return of Cooler?
I would say maybe below Broly, above Return of. Actually, but Cooler's so good.
Cooler
That's Return of Cooler. Okay, I would say above Return of Cooler, below Broly.
Okay.
And then I could maybe see them switching. Broly and Fusion Reborn if like after a rewatch, but I would want to rewatch Broly before saying that.
We were saying Broly could be Z tier, and you're thinking about putting Fusion Reborn in.
Yeah. I might be tripping. Honestly, I might even like the look of it more if Broly was in Z, but I know what I'm saving Z for.
I know what I'm saving Z for. So,
but Fusion Reborn, great film. You're right though; it is very slow and. It does feature a very not well-liked person in history, which was kind of crazy. Looking back at that film and seeing that, I was like, no shot.
Oh, I forgot. That's what he's from, isn't it? That's in Fusion Reborn.
Yep, Goten and Trunks. I do like Goten and Trunks are basically just beating their ass in the real world. But it was a cool art style that they did for Goten and Trunks in that film. So just rewatched it. Still great. Gogeta, man. Every force has an echo or whatever his line is, and then sliding up on Janemba, that shit still goes crazy.
I mean, when
it
Gogeta
is still
is there
so cool.
For the like 90 seconds of screen time he has is like the coolest 90 seconds of screen time in
Gogeta. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. Gogeta had a better 90-second ass beating than Beast Gone. Let's discuss in the comments because that was an ass beating. That was crazy.
I would agree. So that is again, we're about to get to it, so I don't want to. I don't want to like dive into that too much right here, but Superhero does piss me off with some of the decisions they made. So,
I agree though.
I mean, well, Gogeta like actually does a lot more shit than Beast does. So that's definitely a thing. So that brings us to the final of the original Z films, which is Wrath of the Dragon. This movie specifically, I remember very fondly. I've actually been wanting to rewatch it, but because we started this rewatch, I purposely haven't done it. Because right now, Dokkan is actually about to do a celebration centered around this film.
Oh wow!
This movie, you want to talk about gorgeous? This movie is so pretty.
This movie has the pretty movie shot, the shot that everybody knows.
Yes, and on top of that, I just really like. I remember liking this entire movie. Like this movie like blew me away type shit. I don't know so much that I want to go like and put it in Z necessarily.
I don't know about Z, but
I definitely think this is an A film minimum for sure.
For sure. I would agree on that. It has every Legend of Zelda fan's favorite Dragon Ball character.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. Are they on record saying that? It's got to be inspired. Like, there's just way too close. They got ocarinas and swords. They're basically Link, bro. Like,
it's basically Dragon Ball's Link, and it reminds me of like Chrono Trigger, which is really cool. Honestly, yeah, Wrath of the Dragon. I liked another small thing I liked is when Trunks gets the sword. I thought that was cool.
Yes. I actually think I wish that was just canon.
Yeah, that would be cool. If they could like find a way, like if Kid Trunks had the sword. Damn.
I genuinely do wish that I think that is such a cool way to give him his sword. I think, God, that's yeah. As far as placement with Wrath of the Dragon goes, I don't know. I would say I like it more than Return of Cooler, but I don't know that I want to go above Fusion Reborn, Broly, or Cooler's Revenge. Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly, we could put it above Fusion Reborn though, because Fusion Reborn is pretty slow.
Okay,
you're basically watching that only for Goku versus Janemba, and then a little bit of Vegeta and Goku versus Janemba, but basically Gogeta at the end. So I could see Wrath of the Dragon clearing it.
I have like a very like, I feel like A won't move too much. Like I feel really confident in our current placement of A, which for the audio listeners, just to put this back into perspective, our A tier goes Cooler's Revenge, the original Broly movie, Wrath of the Dragon, Fusion Reborn, Return of Cooler. I feel really confident in that list. I could be wrong. I don't think anything goes down. Do you think anything goes down from here?
Nothing falls from A, I don't think.
Yeah, I think
A might even get more crowded, but I don't think anything will fall.
Yeah.
Fusion Reborn, if we watch, like, depending on how like entertaining BoJack is, like I could see Fusion Reborn switching places with BoJack if BoJack turns out to be a banger. Okay. But no, I don't think anything's moving. I'm very, like, honestly, I feel very good about our A and B. Everything else is where I'm kind of like seeing like, all right, what do we got here?
Yeah, no, I agree. Dotto. That brings us to a one that I'm very curious where your opinion of it is, but Battle of Gods, the return of Dragon Ball.
This was pretty hype for me, honestly. Back when it first came out, I was going a little crazy. Although, well, hold on. I mean, damn.
I'm asking you this because I see people in the current day in a post Broly and superhero world still saying Battle of Gods is the best Dragon Ball
movie. And absolutely not.
And I don't fully understand that. I think Battle of Gods was good. I mean, I guess I'll show my cards. I wouldn't even want it to be an A.
Wow. Okay, so
yeah.
But is that coming from a world in which you're talking about we have the anime to cover this stuff?
That's no.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is crazy.
This is one of my hot takes. You know what?
This is a pretty hot take.
Let's just lump it in. This is where I go a little crazy.
He's going crazy.
I like ROF more than Battle of Gods.
Okay, I don't think that one's crazy. See,
no, I think the internet would tell me otherwise, bro.
I know. But here's the thing, Nato, is I think what's happening here is you're the farthest polarizing, but I'm actually kind of in the middle on this because Battle of Gods, first of all, it is not better than any of the super movies that come after it. Z movies, if you want to get picky about it. But Battle of Gods, nothing really happens. There's not really I don't know, it just resolves and everybody's kind of friends at the end. It almost feels a little fillerish in that way. I do like what it introduces. I think that alone is impressive.
Yes.
I do like that it's canon. So that alone, kid me would have liked it more than pretty much most films other than Cooler's Revenge. But we do live in a world where we have the anime, so we don't necessarily need it for that now.
But just so I can clarify, as now all the keyboard warriors have went down and left a comment about this, but I personally would want to put it at the top of B. But obviously somewhere in A, I guess, is fine since it sounds like you really like it. And I'm very aware that the Super Saiyan God transformation originated here. It was beyond hype to see that. This is my first movie to see Dragon Ball in theaters. I'd never seen a Dragon Ball movie in theaters until this, and to be watching new Dragon Ball for the first time in like a decade was incredibly exciting. So I mean, those are all factors, but that doesn't weigh in on just like the movie itself. When I did a rewatch of it, I was like, this is just okay, I don't know. The ending is really good. This is another one of those where the ending goes crazy, and like Sean doing his shenanigans with I will not let you destroy my world goes so
I was gonna
crazy.
say it does have I will not let you destroy my world, which that plus the music that drops, it's not an AMV track, but it goes crazy.
It's sick. I do like this movie. I just want to put it on record. I like this movie.
I
just like ROF more.
I don't really like Battle of Gods that much. I do agree with you. Looking at it in hindsight, it's kind of a hard film to get back into. So, while the truth is that if I was judging all of these on a personal enjoyment thing, being canonical would get to me. That's something I really care about. I'm not even gonna lie. That's something that always bothered me with anime movies. I need the story to actually matter and have stakes. But we live in a world where we have the anime, so I am free to kind of judge this a little bit more like just a movie. And even if it was canon, I think it would still be below Cooler's Revenge just off how cool, and maybe Broly too, just off how cool they are. But I actually agree with you. I want to put this at top of B for right now.
It could move.
Because it could, but just as a film, especially hindsight kind of hurts this one, honestly, because we know nothing bad's going to happen. The God transformation, while it is cool to see Goku obtain that form, I'm kind of on some Vegeta shit, like some Blitz waves, dudes, like a transformation where you just need 5 of your closest friends to what donate some power. That's kind of lame to me. I'm not even gonna lie. That's a little lame to me.
They are coming after us right now, bro.
It's still cool. Super Saiyan God is a cool form. I do like it, especially featured in later films, featured in the best film, but we'll get to that later. We ain't even gonna talk about that right now. But Battle of Gods, I want it to be a top of B. If you'd allow it.
That's where I wanted it to be, period. I thought you were going to fight me to put it in A.
Oh, we are going to get killed on that one just off. Because I do see some points for it just for canon.
I I'm aware of that. I want all of y'all to understand. I'm fully aware of that. I'm just this is our tier list, and that's where I personally wanted it to be. Now,
please,
ROF, dude. I really like this movie.
I thought this movie was pretty cool. I liked that Frieza came back. Obviously, I thought it was really hype. Like, and again, this one might be polarizing, but I like them bringing back old characters if you can do it in interesting ways. I feel like Frieza was kind of a must bring back.
Yes, I agree.
Because honestly, Frieza's kind of like a real. They're leaning on Frieza so hard right now in modern Dragon Ball. It is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what even is modern Dragon Ball if they didn't have Resurrection F?
I mean, we don't have Broly. We don't have
we don't have Broly. We don't have what's happening in the manga, like you're saying.
Like, he's so integral to
exactly. We basically have Moro and pieces of granola. It is so crazy how Frieza is back to being a pillar of the series. So that alone bumps it up. I also, Nano, I don't know what you thought about this. I like that Frieza destroys the world and they have to like ass pull it back, because that was like a crazy destructive failure.
That is cool, but the Vegeta fan in me hates that because they took away Vegeta's W. He was about to get that dub and they took it away.
Yeah, that is a bit of a shame. It also, the movie didn't really have too high stakes just because Whis and Beerus were around. This movie does suffer from the Whis and Beerus syndrome.
I mean, yeah, they do be just able to retcon anything at will.
Yeah, they can retcon anything, and also if they wanted to, they could have just literally attached Frieza to a stick and mopped the floor with him if they so wanted to. So it does. I know Japanese fans really hate that, and I kind of do as well. The stakes are a little ass in this movie, but when you just look at it as like, cool clips, I mean, the 1-inch punch is here. The Frieza punching Goku and him like turning his head back into the fist is here. That is this, right?
Yes.
It has a lot of cool images. And Vegeta does, even though he does get robbed and fumble, he does have the 5-second speech, Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've been away a long time.
Yeah, he gets his 5 seconds. I thought it was cool.
I've been a Super Saiyan for.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Okay, so I preemptively put this beneath Battle of Gods in B.
Whoa. You think this is worse than Battle of Gods?
No, I don't. I just placed it there. I haven't. So I do want to bring something to the board here.
Okay.
Move Second Coming down to top of C. Thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thoughts.
That's going to balance the board out.
Shit out of me looking at Lord Slug by itself in C. It's bugging me.
I agree. And
as I've sat here and stared at Second Coming, the more I think about that movie, the more it also pisses me off because of how much I just loved the first film. I think there's a lot of people who actually like the second film more than the first film, but that's neither nor there.
No shot. Really? I mean, maybe.
Dude, it's been interesting getting to see so many people's opinions on the films through Twitter's new algorithm and seeing like so many people comment things on YouTube and you can see a variety of opinions. Because most of me and my friends have very similar opinions to these films, and that was we were all disappointed with Second Coming after how much we all enjoyed the first one. So anyways, were you thinking A? You want to put ROF in A? I feel like it could go above Return of Cooler again for me. Oh, that is that's something. I guess I kind of want to leave it beneath. I really like Return of Cooler.
Okay, all right. Then what if we do top of B again? Let's do top of B again.
Oh, you want to do top of B?
You want to do bottom of A?
Nah, we'll do top of B.
Let's do top of B. Let's do top of B.
Who are they gonna cook?
And I feel like this is getting a little bit cooking us. I'm not gonna lie. We're kind of cooking ourselves here. Nano, can we please save it, bro? Can we please go into the next opinion and save some goddamn face here?
That is the greatest film in the history of the franchise, Dragon Ball Super Broly, our first Z tier level.
Didn't even have to talk about it. This film is a banger. I honestly do think that this Broly is where Dragon Ball will peak. This is going to be our peak for a long time, if not forever.
I agree.
In this franchise.
I agree. I'm so, dude, the fact that we started this podcast together and you and I are in the same opinion of that, like fills me with so much joy. You do not understand, because when I see people trying to tell me that this is better than Superhero, I'm like, no. It's just like, it just isn't. Like, Superhero is a good movie. Broly is the movie though. Like, this is, It's beautiful. It's story. When I see people say the story isn't good, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Movie? Like,
I don't know what they mean by that, honestly. Like,
the setup for this film is so good, and getting to see, like, I don't know about you, but I love seeing the era when Planet Vegeta actually existed. Like, that shit is so cool to me. Like,
that's what I think most people forget is even in this film. Because, like, what Superhero has over it, in my opinion, is that the dialogue in Superhero is, you know, there's some funnier dialogue and, like, more character interaction. But it's like, if we're just being honest, like, in terms of story, Broly tells the story of, like, Planet Vegeta before its fall to Frieza. Frieza's introduction to the planet in detail. We get to see that happen.
See first form Frieza again too, which was cool.
We do, and he has his classic iconic line. And then we get to see, like, Paragus' escape. I mean, dude, this movie has story. It's just that it also has the best goddamn action in any movie by far as well. But it also has emotional story. You know how many people, like Kenzie was watching Dragon Ball Super Broly and cried because it was like they do like the hand on the pod thing and then like they cry. It has the emotional parental goodbye.
I mean,
bro,
this movie is so good.
It is so good. It's the peak of Dragon Ball films. Even just Dragon Ball, honestly, I don't think anything has even come close to being as good as this movie.
Dude, when I see people say that the fighting gets boring, I'm like, why do you even like Dragon Ball then? Like, what do you like, they made this fighting so interesting, from the differing shots to the different stages of, you know, Vegeta base, Vegeta Super Saiyan, Vegeta, you know, a god, and then Goku gets to step in, and like, and then of course the stages with Broly as well, and then the cutting back to Frieza and Paragus, and like, wait, Broly can't become a Super Saiyan, and he's like disappointed, and then I don't know, dude, that like, and that's even before we get to the climax and stuff. Like, they managed to make 45 minutes of straight fighting so interesting, like
crazy interesting. It wasn't even like, if fighting gets boring is something that could make sense, but not really here, because you get, again, like you said, Vegeta's like testing him, leveling up slowly. They made use of every form really good. This is what I was alluding to earlier.
They brought back like meaningful transformations. Like, the days of getting to see like them try to transform had been long gone. Like, they just like literally with a flick of their like hand, they just, boop, I'm Super Saiyan Blue now from base. Like, they brought it back, like actually having real transformations. Vegeta going on top of the mountain and the transformation like surrounding him to become Super Saiyan, and that cool green aesthetic that then flashes away, you know, like, and then the spiraling up and becoming a god, like, yeah, bringing back meaningful transformations. And Gogeta did a meaningful transformation too. He actually had to power up and become a Super Saiyan, like, you know. And then you'll see people argue like, well, they don't even need to do that anymore. No, but they did. That's the thing, they didn't have to, but they still did it, and that's what made it so much more impactful. Like, yeah,
honestly, Dragon Ball in general has done a really good job of not getting rid of old power-ups like Super Saiyan. They still kind of interweave them into the story, but Broly did it the best. We see all the forms. We get to see, you know, Vegeta level up, and then you're right, they do put a lot more effort into the transformation. Like when Goku rips off the shirt and he goes, like, he leans in and almost looks like he's going Ultra Instinct for a second, and then pops back and goes blue. That was great. Broly getting the big green beam in the sky while Goku's like stanced up and all like the green like meteors are falling and stuff like that. This movie, like, it separates the action, like it's fighting, and then it separates into a different chunk, and then it separates into a different chunk. It separates into a different chunk. It's just so good. It's so good.
And it gives Broly like a really, really actual good backstory. Not the...
Yes.
Goku was crying next to him, so he's always hated him, but like, it like actually gave him like a really good, meaningful backstory. I don't know. Like, this is some of the best Dragon Ball story, in my opinion, some of the best Dragon Ball storytelling, like, especially in the films, but also maybe even in the series, period. Like, this is... Am I wrong? Like,
no, I don't disagree. I think he's just like a caveman story. It's like a Tarzan storyline. I love Tarzan.
Yep. So
it's great. And they introduce more good side characters like Chilai, and Limo's not really that good.
Yeah, Limo's whatever. But Chilai, yeah, is like...
Chilai's really good.
Is sick, dude. And then, we haven't even discussed like the final act, like seeing, you know, Frieza fight Broly and Whis fighting Broly and Goku and Vegeta fusing, and the call out to Piccolo, like, I don't know. We might need your help for this one. The one thing I've always thought was funny was him calling out to Piccolo, even though he's getting his ass beat as a god, like a Super Saiyan god. And like, what is Piccolo going to do? And, and then, yeah, but then they end up, going over to do the fusion. And they also gave us failed fusions too. Like, this movie had it all, dude. Like this movie.
Yeah, that was a little fan service on top. They killed it with this one.
Man. So I'm with you. I don't know that it's going to be hard pressed for them to ever beat this film for me personally. But that does bring us to the other more modern era film and the newest film technically in the series, which is Dragon Ball Superhero. I am also of the mind, I know we did just shit on it a little bit, but I do think this is the second best movie that they've ever produced.
Pretty easily. I don't even think that's just recency bias. I think it's really good. It introduces the Gammas. It gives us, it almost is like a patch notes for Dragon Ball. We get some Gohan and Piccolo buffs in here to keep them up with the main cast,
which I liked. I did.
I do more so like, this is now we can actually talk about this now. I do more so like how they handled Cell Max in the manga. It felt more like a team thing in the manga, but it wasn't bad in the movie. And it was a funny movie, had some good character dialogue. Really good for Gohan. I enjoyed all the fighting with the Gammas.
Yes. My only complaint, and we just kind of touched on it there, and the thing that I thought that Broly did really well is that, a lot of these movies, as we said, there's always the henchman and there's always the big baddie at the end. And Broly was like his own little henchman, basically. But the thing that bugged me about Superhero is that, and the Gammas were awesome. It was really sick watching the Gammas fight. And I've watched this movie several times at this point, but it has bugged me that I felt like we built up to Cell Max throughout the entirety of the film, and it felt like he could have had a little more. I'm not even asking for our like crazy
perfect Cell Max.
Yeah, I'm not even asking for that. I just and I get that. I think to some extent you might say that some of it was to show how overwhelmingly powerful Beast was compared to Cell Max, but I wish with all this build up and all the pre-marketing of not even allowing us to see Beast. Once Beast was there, I wish he would have had just a few more minutes of screen time, because this really suffered from super era of films where we get to the end and it happens within 60 seconds to 90 seconds. Like we already foreshadowed talking about Fusion Reborn. Like, yeah, Gogeta's only there for seriously like 2 minutes of screen time, but in that 2 minutes, he technically does more than Beast does. Beast powers up, gives us a smirk, gives us a kick, and then does a beam, and that's it. And then he stands there. We get one last shot of him and Piccolo standing there together, and then he's back into his base state. I just wish all that build up to him becoming Beast, we would have had more time to spend with him in that form. That is the only thing that bugs me. Oh, and the beginning. The beginning in the car is really slow on a rewatch. That's a bit rough to get through. Once you get past that, it's fine. But
a cool introduction was kind of cool though, like the 2D ramp up through Dragon Ball.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the
I know
out of the prison and like
that part sucks. That part really sucks. And honestly, even on a first watch, I thought that part kind of sucked.
It was slow. Yeah, it's just so easy to compare them. They're the two most recent, and they're only two technical DBS movies. But Broly handles the intro and the setup for what you're about to watch infinitely better than Superhero does. Like it's not even a comparison, in my opinion. Like
I do think Broly is just like the peak. I don't think Superhero gets too close to that. I do agree. I wish there was more time for Beast to like get out and like actually do stuff. And I do wish Cell Max got more time in general, or just more interesting things. But I think it's kind of hard to do that with a giant like figure.
Yeah, that is.
So it holds it back. I'm not gonna lie. It's an okay thing to do. It does hold it back. That's honestly, I know it's just, again, we say meathead a lot, but perfect Cell Max on a more human level would have went crazy for Beast and that to throw hands, even if it's not Cell, but like a more like human sized opponent.
Yeah, I mean, they were already retreading, like they were already doing the thing where they brought it back. I wish like to give us the moment of Cell and Gohan like reconvening now, after what would be for us in the States 20 years. That would have been truly special. And I think you and I have talked about this in videos on our actual channels before. But I actually think if they would have given us that moment, there is a world where I would put Superhero over Broly.
To me,
I think it's possible.
It would have been possible if they like rearranged it, maybe cut the car part put more time to the ending, stuff like that, or just made it a longer film. But it would also, I do really like the beginning of Broly and what it sets up and what it shows us. But yeah, I agree. There could have been a world with that. So ultimately, where I would place this film is, to be honest, this and Broly are like miles above most other stuff. Like, because the other stuff got replicated in the anime, Broly has a really big advantage of it hasn't been done in anime form, which I think is really nice. Superhero's been done in manga, which totally stun-locked the manga. That sucked. But I would still put it in Z, or if you only want to have one Z, I also understand that, but it would clear A. Like, this is top of A for sure.
I have got it currently behind Broly and Z. Yes.
I think it deserves nothing less. I think it deserves nothing less.
Dude, and I think this is another one where people, I don't know, it's so interesting. Superhero was one where I do think was really a very polarizing film for a lot of the fandom, because I still see people say they enjoy at least Battle of Gods more than Superhero, and I think that they are on two different, completely different levels. I don't even think they're hardly comparable. To me personally, like I do not think that either of those Final Z films even come close to either of these movies, in my opinion. I think they really stepped it up with both of these films in particular in terms of just story. Like, the one thing I've also always said about Superhero that I can't really say about Broly, but Superhero is almost to a point of being just like that good of a movie that it's like something I would almost put on for me and my son and my wife to watch, like on family movie night. Like, it's like, because it's, you know, it's got the jokes, it's pretty wholesome, like but it still has like the action and stuff like that. Like, it's on that level. Like, it almost transcends just being a Dragon Ball film and more of just a really good animated movie to watch. Whereas like a lot of these, like, I'm not putting on BoJack Unbound or Tree-of-Maya for movie night, you know, because they're so, I don't know.
You need to be like soaked in the lore. You need to be marinated in the lore. And yeah, honestly, it does feel different. Again, I could see the two first Super movies or the two last Z movies. I just think of them as Super, but I could see them being an A, again, just purely for their canon, stuff like that, yada yada. They represent stuff.
Do you want to move Battle Gods up? Do you want to do it?
I do not.
Okay.
I like it there just because I'm judging them off movies, and again, I do think they're retroactively hurting my mind because now they just feel like long ass anime arcs that could have been a movie. But Broly and Superhero both feel like you said, these feel like self-contained movies. Like, we would not need to retread this stuff. And even if we did retread it, there's not really any areas where I would want them to add stuff other than with Superhero, a little more fighting with Beast.
Yeah.
But with Broly, you are not redoing Broly in an anime and having it even like what would you add? Nothing. It's really a perfect self-contained movie. So there's no flaws there. Nothing that could be retread in anime. Whereas Resurrection F and Battle of Gods, you could easily redo. And they did them worse, but even if you could have done them better. So the two last Super movies have been really good, focused films. I think they've knocked that part out of the park.
So we've got,
still bring back the anime though.
So now we've got the 4 TV specials from Z. I feel like we could pretty well rapid fire these.
Honestly, let's rapid fire these. You give me yours, and then I'll just give you mine, and then we'll meet in the middle.
I'll keep it 100 with you. Bardock, in my opinion, is comfortable in the bottom of C for me.
Okay.
And then History of Trunks, I would probably put at the bottom of B. Maybe above Super 13. And then I don't really know enough about the Super Saiyan Bardock special. I've only ever seen the Super Saiyan aspect of that with him versus Chilled. I just watched that fight so I could understand what the hell was even going on with Super Saiyan Bardock. And with the Super Saiyans, you and I watched a portion of that movie when we were recording a video together because we were inside. We were in like Raging Blast.
Yeah.
So I've only ever seen that part of it. And the other aspect I know of that film, that's a pretty low tier for me. So you'll have to be the deciding factor for those two. I don't really have much of an opinion on those. But yeah, I enjoy History of Trunks a lot, but it is still just a TV special. I mean, it could be low A if that's what you were thinking. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, I think you pretty much got it. My personal list, if I was just rapid firing off my thoughts, History of Bardock and Trunks TV specials, I think would have both been low B. Maybe Trunks could have been a little higher, like mid B or and then I would have put Chilled and Bardock, which I have seen. I have a decent memory of that. I would have put that bottom C, like where you had Bardock.
Okay.
And then Hachiyak probably would have been top of D.
Okay.
Just because that movie's really fucking lame. It's not really a movie,
top
but
of D. Let's put it at the bottom of D then. If you
hell no, dude, it's not lamer than Dead Zone. That's the thing, is it has Super Saiyans and beams, so it is not lamer than Dead Zone to me.
That is crazy,
bro. It's true
right
though.
There alone might forget the Battle of Gods and ROF stuff. That might be what gets us flamed on other platforms.
I honestly, I guess you're right, because it is a pretty ugly movie.
It is ugly.
But I would be lying to you if I said I didn't enjoy it more than.
I mean, no, let's lock it. So okay, so here's what I've done with the tier list. I've placed them, obviously them and the Super Saiyan. Sorry, Plan to Eradicate Super Saiyans above everything in D. I've put the Super Saiyan Bardock special at the bottom of C. History of Trunks is above Super Android 13, and Bardock, Father of Goku, is beneath Super Android 13. Is that?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I would do. Yeah, that's what I would do.
I don't know that I want to put History of Trunks over Tree of Might. Maybe. What if we're misremembering Tree of Might so bad? I just remember
we could be
the hell out of that movie, bro.
We could be. Honestly, we could also be sleeping on Super Android 13 a little bit.
We could be. Just to note that too. But not every. I think the other thing too here with the tier list, not everything can be like. Maybe it's your favorite thing, but you go make a tier list. Like, not everything on our tier list can be in A and in Z and all these things. That
is the fun part. Also, I'm getting embarrassed because you're absolutely right. That is like actually just meathead shit showing through that. To me, it's not about beauty of the animation. It's literally like, no, they went Super Saiyan in this film and they didn't in this one. So that shit is ass. It's unfortunate, dude, but that's how I'm looking at this for real. Like, I just enjoy those aspects way more.
Now, what I want to ask, are there any audibles? Are we going to move anything here? Or are you trying to lock this in?
I'm really good to lock this in. I would say, though, just for in case we actually do get to a point where we rewatch all these and have to come back and rank them all. My contention for moving, I would say I wouldn't be surprised if we shifted around Bojack as in higher, Lord Slug as in lower, Bio Broly and World's Strongest as in lower. Bio Broly could come up a little bit. Those are my guesses, though.
To F?
I do. I really do. I think there's gonna be an F tier movie somewhere. There's gonna be an F tier somewhere. I'm kind of hoping it's Lord Slug. It has a shitty poster too. Like I don't know if that's its actual poster, but on the tier list we're doing, like, that one does look pretty bad. Yeah, looks a little DeviantArt to me, but whatever.
Yeah, you might be right. Okay, so if that's the case, then and we're locking it in for all the audio listeners and for everyone on YouTube that also probably is just like listening to us on your second monitor. What's up? How are you doing? Hope you're having a great day. In our Z tier, and this is ranked. All these will be ranked in true order of how we feel. Of course, as if we didn't talk about it enough, Broly is our definitive best Dragon Ball film from Z to Super. Then Superhero right beneath it, but I think both of us agree there's definitely a gap there. Like, Broly could be in its own tier. We're both in agreement on that. Then A tier, we've got Cooler's Revenge. Then we have the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, Wrath of the Dragon, Fusion Reborn, and Return of Cooler. In B tier, we have ROF, Battle of Gods, Bojack Unbound, Tree of Might, History of Trunks TV special, Super Android 13, and the Bardock TV special. In C, we've got Broly Second Coming into Lord Slug. Oh, wait, what is... I don't know why I changed up my phrasing there, but anyway, Lord Slug in second, and then the final in C tier is the chilled Super Saiyan Bardock film, and then in D we've got Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans, Dead Zone into World's Strongest into Bio Broly. So Bio Broly is canonically, for key moments, our least favorite movie right now as we remember it. Could change. These are all preemptive. These are not with a recent watch.
Honestly, would not be surprised if Dead Zone snipes that, or World's Strongest. Again, I didn't really like Dead Zone. It is crazy, bro. There's gonna be Super Saiyans in Bio Broly, so
what is insane to me is that you saying that, but you're the human stan, bro. Like, you are like you're the guy to go to for like when someone's like a huge fan of Krillin or Yamcha or Tien, like they're like, oh man, Dotto's got me, but.
Yeah, but I mean, those are cool. Those are people fighting at their max power, though.
But then you're over here like Super Saiyans, fusions.
That stuff's still cool, dude. I can't tell a lie. For me, the Earthling thing is like those are people fighting at their full power. Whereas when I see Goku fighting Garlic Jr., it's like, come on, man. I know that like 2 days from now, Garlic Jr. would have gotten blown out of the water so bad that this is hardly even worth my time.
That's fair.
He got washed by Kid Gohan off some alcohol, bro. Like that's crazy.
These are very, very valid. So that is the definitive, as of right now off memory, key moments, Dragon Ball movie tier list. Doto, any final remarks before we wrap up?
No, my only remark is, yeah, these are pretty fun movies, and that, again, like looking at it, again, the modern Dragon Ball films, I do think the being canonical helps them a lot. But in terms of just being a movie that I would go watch, I'd rather watch all of A above our two more modern movies, just as a standalone thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yes, I think that's
because
true.
If somebody comes up to me, I just want to say this one last time. It's like, are you saying that Resurrection F and Battle of God aren't as important, are less important? No, it is not an importance thing. It is like, if I'm pulling a movie off a shelf and I get Resurrection F, I'm like, damn, I would have rather got Cooler's Revenge, being honest. You know, like that. Like, that's how I'm looking at this list right now.
I agree wholeheartedly. There is no world where I'm choosing either Battle of Gods or ROF over any of the 7 films above them. Like, I would much rather sit there and watch. I will say, I guess the last thing I'll say about this, I could see wanting to move Wrath, Broly, or Cooler's Revenge to Z, to bottom of Z. I could see those moving out of A up to Z, but I do not see either any of them going down. I think we're gonna watch Wrath the Dragon if we make it to that point, and hella enjoy that. I think that movie is gonna be like truly surprising at how good. I don't know, unless you
that one is gonna be a big surprise to me because I actually have not watched that in a long time. Yeah. I only know the Super Saiyan 3 shot at the very end.
Yeah, whichever one does. So, anyways, there you go. That is Key Moments ranking the movies. Doto, can you hear that? I can hear it.
Is that the? Oh my gosh! It's the jingle.
We appreciate you guys. We will see you all in the next one.